So welcome to the first video in our series, and I want to introduce you to Alex Abatie. Alex is a full-time drone entrepreneur, and over the next few videos, we are going to pick Alex's brain and learn about his journey as a person who actually makes their living flying drones. Learning how he got started, where the industry is headed, and best practices and even the pitfalls to avoid. So without further ado, let's bring in Alex. Hey Alex, how are you doing?
Thanks, Jerry. Thanks for the nice introduction. I'm doing well.
So, Alex, first of all, how did you start your drone journey and how did you transition that into a full time job?
So, Jerry, I got into drones actually through photography. Prior to this, I was an editorial art director, so I had a lot of photography experience and had a love for aviation. My dad was a private pilot. I'm also a manned pilot, and it seemed like a really good meshing of two interests of my for me. And I did primarily print stuff. So when the internet came along, I really didn't really, I liked making things essentially. And the internet, you don't really make anything concrete. And so I started looking for a different career. And and I kind of came into drones through, I think a lot of people do. I started with real estate and since transitioned out of that, but that was my start, and it was a great combination of my photography and my love of aviation.
Man, that's really great that you get to combine both of your passions and skills into this career. Now, Alex, you and I have talked, and one of the biggest words of advice that you give out is to find a niche. Can you tell us why having a drone niche is so important and how that gives you a competitive advantage and how someone can actually identify the right niche for them?
What I do primarily now, the niche that I found has been inspections, and I found that this was more profitable than real estate, longer term contracts, things like that. I work as primarily as a contractor, and I work for cell tower companies, utility companies, and inspect their assets with drones. And I just kind of by trying out a bunch of stuff and what I was good at, and I found this at a great time in the industry because it was really new. uh, at this point, they are looking for pilots with experience, and at that time they weren't, and I was able to build up some experience. So looking for something new is always good. New applications, I think, and there are new ones being created daily. So kind of having a good pulse of the industry is helpful. I found social media really helpful in uh, figuring out what's going on. Facebook actually is really good because it's very current, and there are oftentimes good conversations to be had in some of the professional groups. So, um, yeah,
Now, based on your experiences, how have you found the best way to set yourself apart from your competitor?
being really good at what you do, for sure. And so fly, fly, fly in this industry. I don't think you can fly too much, and I've kind of been expanding a little bit of the business that I do, and I've been doing a lot of FPV now also, and that takes a lot of practice. And and again, it's finding what you're good at.
How does being an efficient drone pilot help you in the utility inspection industry?
I came from a magazine and newspaper design culture where efficiency was really valued, and you're always working against a deadline, and so working quickly and cleanly was very important. And I found that in the inspection industry also, that efficiency is really important. And so the more efficient you can fly, the more, uh, it's just like as an example, when you're inspecting an asset, to be going constantly up and down, tilting your gimbal constantly to different angles, takes a lot of flight time. If you can find a flight pattern that you can reproduce, where you're not going up and down too much, you're not moving your gimbal too much, then you're more efficient and you can fly the assets faster, cleaner, and more consistently. And I think that that's something for me that came from a production environment. That's something that I learned in a production environment, and uh, I think that that's served me well in this industry. So I think partly it's being really honest about what you're good at and what you're not. Some pilots are not very efficient. Some are. Uh, we all have our different skills, and some can fly really smoothly, and some can't. The outside of the efficiency, the smoothness of how you fly may or may not be so important in inspection, where you're taking still images or something like that. But if you're wanting to go into more video work and things like that, if you can't fly smoothly, you're gonna have some issues.
Hey, thanks a lot, Alex. That was some really great advice. Now, you're not going to want to miss tomorrow's session when we tackle one of the biggest questions, and that is how to find customers. So be sure to join us.